All right, guys, this is greenhouse building day. So I have here laid out my landscaping fabric. It's a 5-ounce woven fabric. Got it from A.M. Leonard online. They had a great deal going. The way I have it laid out right now, these are 3-foot pieces and they're overlapping about 4 inches because that's all the fabric I could spare to overlap. But I've got it running 13 feet by 21 feet. Because my greenhouse is going to be 12 feet by 20 feet, and I want a little bit of fabric on every side so that grass isn't growing up on the surrounding edges. I would have liked to have a little bit more, but like I said, I'm a little tight on landscaping fabric supplies. So I've got it laid out. I just have staples around the perimeter for now, so I'm filling in with more staples now, and we'll get to the next part, which will be laying out our ground posts. All right, now with the landscaping fabric laid out, moving on to our ground posts. These are some posts that I got from some salvage stuff. I can't remember what they're from. And I'm gonna make them work. Obviously, they're not all the perfect length. They should all be 3.5, 4 feet long. And I think I'm in the 40 to 44 inch range. So depending on which one I draw from. So I'm gonna go with it. Some obviously will be buried deeper than others. Meanwhile, the tops will be evenly matched up. We'll do a string line. So I went ahead and I pre-drilled using a drill press. I figured I could get a more straight bore if I used a drill press rather than trying to fight it in with a drill. And I also thought it'd be better to pre-drill them rather than setting them and then fighting a drill, into that. I think that using a drill might loosen it up a little bit because you'll be pressing on it a little bit. You could obviously successfully drill without making that happen, but I just thought it'd be easier. One advantage maybe to drilling after the fact is that you don't have to worry about, when you put all these in the ground, you don't have to worry about all these holes being perpendicular or are parallel with your sides here. You don't have to worry about accidentally putting it in this way because you don't want your screws on the end because it'll rip your plastic. You want them here. So the plastic is against here, the smooth part. So if you put these in and then drilled, you could just, zip, 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 zip down through each post, making sure it's on the side. But as we put these in, as we pound them in, I'll make sure they're turned the right way. So I've gone ahead and laid out the tape measure here. We got a little bit more than 20 feet. We have 21 feet this way, and we're 13 and change this way. And so I put my first post partially in here. Gotta still plumb it up, but I am on center. I am 8 inches from this side and 6 inches from this side, and that gives me plenty of space to build the hoop house, and weeds aren't going to grow right up inside here. Now obviously I made this hole a little bit too big. I was trying to record when I did it and got away from me a little bit, so we'll try to do a little more clean burn on the rest of these. So we're going to be putting the holes every 4 feet. So here I'm on 20. So I'm going to go down to 16 on center, 12, 8, 4, and 0. And we should end up with, I think, 6 posts. And I'm going to do the other side. I can't stress enough the importance of using a ground post driver. I got mine from Bootstrap Farmer. I'll show it to you in a second. These are some ground posts I drove in previously for a different project. And as you can see, being hit over and over again with the sledgehammer, they warp. And they're not beautiful, and some of these are even worse. Some are so bad that you can't even fit a pole inside of them. Fortunately for this one, I was using PVC and it was much smaller diameter, so I didn't have any problems. But let me show you the ground post driver and how it helps tremendously. So here's the ground post driver. It's sitting on top of my ground post here, and what this is, you can see, is an insert that rests on the collar of the ground post. And what that does is it disperses the weight of your sledgehammer blows around the whole rim of the pipe. Because obviously when you hit with a sledgehammer, yes, we're trying to strike perfectly every time to keep it plumb and everything, but undoubtedly you're going to come in at angles and that's going to booger it up. So let the boogering happen to the head of this. There's a focus there. And that will disperse the weight. So you preserve the integrity and the shape of your ground post. And later on when you go to put your hoops in, you won't have any problems. All right, so I've got a string line run here. All right, you can see the other side is finished. Now, one thing that I had to realize is that the string line is set for 2 feet, okay? So is that one. And the string is level. Now, I was a little concerned when we measured the height of this pole because we were 1 foot and 10 inches. And I said, what is the point of a string line at 2 feet if this string line is not 2 feet high off the ground? And what I'm working with though is an unlevel ground and a level string line. So my posts are going to be at different heights. Well, they're going to be at different measurements out of the ground, but they're all going to be level. You don't want all your posts at 2 feet because if the ground is not even, your posts will be at different heights, and then your final product will have hoops at different heights. Okay, so follow the string line as long as it's taut and level, and just drive your post down to the string line, and don't really worry about how high your posts are out of the ground, because you just want them to be level with each other and the whole thing to be level as one, not as individual posts. Okay, it's getting a little dark, so it's hard to see, but got the ground post in this evening. Everything measures up really nicely, side to side, 12 inches on center, side to side, 12 inches on center, and then we're 23 feet, 1 inch, and 11/16 this way, 23 feet, 1 inch, and 10/16 or 5/8 that way. So we're off by 1/16 of an inch, which I could care less about. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. So we're gonna close up for the night. Rain's coming. It's getting dark. Gotta bend hoops and put them in.
Guys, thanks for checking out my video. I'm sorry you don't get to see me doing much of the actual work in this one. I shot this one a few months ago, and I did not have a true tripod yet, and so a lot of my filming was done while my camera was in my hand. So in this one, I show you a lot of what I am doing and what I've done and what I'm going to do. And hopefully it's enough information and enough ordinary camera work where you can see what I'm doing and figure out how I got there. If you do have any questions though, please leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Thanks again for watching. See you guys.